Hi, I'm Duncan Mills, Product Marketing Director here at Cyren. At this year's Info Security event in London, we ran a number of educational presentations on our booth. They were really well received, so we've summarised them and recorded them. Each lasts just about 5 minutes, so please do enjoy. The first covers evasive malware tactics and how you can defend against them. Malware authors have used evasion tactics for years. Here are some examples. One of the earliest is polymorphism. To evade detection by signature-based AV engines, viruses change their code ever so slightly as they spread throughout the network. Today's tactics are far more sophisticated, designed to evade detection by the latest security controls, such as sandboxes. Sandboxes typically use virtual machines, and malware is created to be VM aware to try and avoid detection by sandboxes. If it thinks it is executing in a VM, it will not display abnormal behaviors. Cyren Security Labs has performed extensive research into malware evasion tactics and found that 71% use up to 5 techniques to avoid detection, 26% between 6 and 10, and 3% use more than 10 different mechanisms to avoid detection. Of course, code exhibiting signs of evasion is itself indicative that it might be malicious, hence why this research is so important. Sandboxing has become a standard mechanism for detecting zero-day threats. Suspicious code is executed in a controlled environment, and its behavior is monitored for signs that it is doing something suspicious. Using this technique, you have a good chance of detecting the 71% of malware that uses 1 to 5 evasion techniques, but you are unlikely to detect those that carry tactics specifically designed to evade detection by a sandbox. You stand a far better chance if you use multiple sandboxes that are configured with different operating systems and applications. Often you might see different behaviors in each, which itself suggests something is suspicious. However, you are still not 100% guaranteed to detect the most evasive or hyper-evasive threats. During our research, Cyren's analysts found one malware, a variant of Cerber, that performed 29 different checks for sandboxes. To detect such threats, Cyren has a unique cloud sandbox array. We consider sandboxing somewhat of a commodity. The value Cyren brings are the technologies that surround the multiple sandboxes in the array. Files are pre-processed using static analysis and code emulation before being sent to multiple sandboxes, where they are executed in different environments and their behaviors monitored. The output from each stage informs the final decision. We also leverage the Cyren Security Cloud, which is a rich source of security intelligence. Each day we process 25 billion transactions and protect 1.3 billion users by blocking 300 million threats. Let me explain what this means with a very simple example. We see malicious websites coming online within seconds. If a sandbox file attempts to access one, maybe a command and control server, clearly we will treat that file with suspicion. The Cyren Cloud Sandbox Array is integrated into our email security service and also offered as a standalone service, which we call ThreatLookup. Customers send files to the service using a RESTful API. During pre-processing, we perform a number of checks against data held in the Cyren Security Cloud. We also check to determine whether a file includes known evasion techniques. The presence of these would clearly be suspicious. The arbitrator uses the results of this pre-processing and any previous sandboxing steps to determine where to next execute the file. And all behaviors are monitored at each sandboxing stage. The final stage is what we refer to as sandboxless technology. These are standard desktop computers rather than virtual machines. They contain no standard monitoring tools like those used by sandboxes. They also mimic users' interactions, so there is absolutely no way that a file being executed can determine that it is in a sandbox. Finally, in post-processing, we collate all the results and again use data from the Cyren Security Cloud to provide a risk score and generate a report which includes all the forensic information that your security analysts need to complete their investigations. Thanks for your time. I hope that was informative. Please do watch the next session, which expands on the concept of evasion tactics, discussing those used increasingly in phishing attacks. If you would like to find out more about the Cyren Cloud Sandbox Array, you will find a datasheet in the resources section of Cyren.com.